All right, well, this is attempt 2 to make this video. First one I screwed it up, so I deleted it. Anyways, I am installing this kit in the 81 El-Camino Terminator X Max, made by Holley, and it's an operating system to operate this LS engine that I got put in this 81 El-Camino. Just want to cover a couple of quick things. Very easy to install. The kit comes essentially with numerous harnesses that you just route from the ECU to your engine. And here's the main body for the driver's side of the harness. And it comes with plugs that plug into your existing sensors. And these plugs will only go in the one location, so it's literally impossible to plug it into the wrong area. So this plug right here just activates all of your coils on this side, and there's one on the other side of the engine as well. Then it has a little sub harness that connects into these fuel injectors for both sides, goes down in, connects into the main harness. So pretty simple. There's another one right here for your water temperature. Here's one that doesn't get used on this unless you want to. It's a fuel pressure. I do have a transducer. It just won't reach the other side cleanly, but there is a transducer kit that you can install right here. And if I can do it clean, I'll try to get it over there, but I don't think that's going to happen. I might find a pigtail extension for that. Passenger side's essentially the same. There is one kind of a pain in the butt little deal you got to do here. This heat shielded wire right here goes down to your crank position sensor, and I had to take my starter off to plug that into the sensor, so should have a little bit more forethought on that, but I didn't. There's a couple of wires back here that you attach to your cylinder head, one here and one on the other side. It's just a ground wire. Those were a little bit of a time eater, maybe about 5 minutes each. Just make sure you have some good clean fasteners for that. There's a wire here that goes to the ECU. This is just your main power and ground, and this goes directly to your battery. Now this Holley system will also operate your fans and comes with an additional harness. This one will operate a couple of fans. It'll kick off your AC, and it'll do some stuff with your air pump to step up the speeds, something like that. I am not using this. No need to use this in my engine, because I'm going to control my electric fans with this relay box that I made a video on already, and it has a controller in the cab, so I am not going to command the Holley system to operate my fans. I'm just going to operate those manually with this relay kit. So this is a sweet little setup. See, anything else I'm missing in here? I will clean these wires up once I'm satisfied that the test is satisfactory and all this. Once I start it up, I'll get all this cleaned up, but and maybe cover these wires because they just don't look right. The colors are contrasting too much for me. I want everything black. And so if we go here, you'll see this wire bundle sticking out, and what this is this powers up the relay for the fuel pump, which is in the cab. I'll show you that. And this is this actually goes back. This comes from the relay back to the fuel pump and operates the fuel pump. So we'll have this system operate in my fuel pump. It just makes sense. And this blue and white wire is to use a standard tachometer. If you want to use like a Sun Super Tac 2, something like that. I won't use it because the Holley system heads-up display already shows you what your engine RPMs are on the heads-up display. So it's my intent to just keep the cab clean. And just a quick look here at these harnesses. Holley does a great job. They label everything perfectly. You can't go wrong. I mean, you really can't. So here is where this temperature sensor, which goes into your air inlet. This is where I decided to put it. I drilled this hole too big, and so I drilled the hole correctly here and clicked the plug into the sensor. Now I'll plug this hole off. So I went a little bit too fast, and that's what you ended up getting, going too fast. We'll go on the inside of the car, and then we'll go down below. I'm looking for my flashlight. Yeah, naturally can't find my flashlight. So there's my flashlight. So yeah, it looks like a cluster in here right now, but all this will get squared away. These are all just the other ends of the harness that come from the engine bay and connect into the ECU, the computer. I'll show you that last. I've already pre-fit all these. They look messy right now, but I'll get them all high and tight. There's some wires here. So these wires right here, this red and white one, the red and white is 12 volt switched, which activates this relay right here and sends power back through that green wire that I showed you to the fuel pump. And the black wire on this harness is just a ground. So then we get over here into which one is this? This is for the transmission control for the 4L60E overdrive transmission that I'm using. See, this black wire is ground. This red and white wire is a 12 volt switched. This red wire right here is straight 12 volts, and this gray wire attaches to the brake switch. So when you hit the brakes, it'll kick off the lock-up torque converter. And so yeah, it takes it out of overdrive. Yep. And the relays, really simple, just screw those to the bulkhead. This is the main power supply for the ECU. They suggest that you plug this in last, which I will do, and it's fused as well. I think there's a 20 ampere in there, not sure. So although it looks a little bit crazy, it's actually going to be very clean installation. And let's go down below really quick on the transmission. So there's the plug from the Holley kit, plugged right in to the case of the transmission. So that's the main controller. Then there's another one right here, very simple, plugs right in. And there's one more speed sensor plug that plugs into a sensor, but the 4L60E does not use that. It's for a different transmission, so you just tuck it away. So my transmission's hooked up, and I really hope I don't have any issues with this transmission. Another thing you got to hook up is your wideband O2 sensor right here, and you screwed in here, and this wire just goes up and ties into your main harness, and then information gets to your computer, so your computer can make adjustments constantly to keep your fuel right. So pretty excited to see if that works all right. Yeah, it's a boogie weld. So let's get out of here. Let's see if there's anything else I can show you. Okay, yeah, so yeah, all this stuff is controlled by a heads-up display that plugs in right down here, and I'll show you the heads-up display. So a nice small little display. It allows you to do your initial calibration and put in information regarding your cam size, your tire size, your gears, your transmission, what kind of injectors you're using, a few other parameters that you'll put into this, and that will establish your initial baseline, I'll call it calibration or mapping, for the actual ECU, the heart of the system, which is right here. This little thing right here will operate the engine and the transmission, your fans, your fuel pump, everything. So I'm pretty excited about getting this going. I should be able to have this thing started tomorrow. I have all the fluids full. Got the radiator full, the oil full, power steering full, transmission is full and cycled and checked. Even filled the differential, drained and filled the differential on the rear end of this vehicle, and installed one of those covers that are just a little bit stronger than the sheet metal cover, and just trying to keep it all organized. These LS swaps, really fun. I've been enjoying doing this on this vehicle. It needs a good wash. Lucky I don't have an HOA, or I'd have some lady over here bitching at me about my car in the driveway. Screw you. So, yeah, getting pretty excited about starting this thing up pretty soon. Maybe tomorrow.